Well, I am on today just to kind of share little updates as to how some things have come along, and just wanted to say that the main reason I post this video is so that I can share my great aunt's obituary in the description, which is one thing I am going to do. I have already kind of made a tribute memorial video to her and do have some things to tell you about how it was yesterday out in Richmond at the Kirksville Community Center, where we had our little Christmas in July show out in the park. I'd say I think it went well. I kind of had a lot of good stuff out there. I'd say I kind of made what I considered to be reasonable sales. Paid about $25 for the vendor fee and made 52 in sales, probably meaning I made about 27 altogether. And from the items I sold, I'd say that there was like one couple out there that was kind of like selling the paintings that the man did and the little pickle and salsa jars of their recipes, and they had three little girls out there, two of which were their daughters. They were selling little handmade crafts that they made, and with the money they made at what they sold, they came by to buy stuff from me. I thought that was so nice. They were actually there to make their own money, but the fact that they spent it on my stuff, I thought it was so sweet, and I told them that. But their mother was there too, and she kind of stated that a lot of my stuff was so unique, and I see how there was just a lot of good reason for that and how it was. And I say that it's just a wonder in this world what we can do, what we can make. I was out there yesterday and saw some people. I tell you, I appreciated so much what they were doing. They were kind of, I'd say, raising funds to get items for Operation Christmas Child. It's a program that sends little shoe boxes with Samaritan's Purse out to the little children in civilian camps. There was one year when I had my mother help me out with that, providing little clothing and socks and things, and I decided to donate the little toys into there that I made as my homemade gifts. And so that was kind of like what my little thing about it was. And would also just like to say that it's always a pleasure just to get out, meet people, see people. And one thing I'd like to share that a lady made was she took these little spice boxes, these little leftover tin containers of spices, and put little ornaments and vintage Christmas trinkets on them to make them into little shelf sitters. Kind of saw some that I liked but didn't buy them because they were kind of a little bit beyond my expense. But I'd probably say that I took a picture and have kind of at least shown it to one friend in Messenger now. Would probably hope to show it more, but they didn't really have any business or anything like that that they had a card for, so I wasn't really able to promote them at all. And would also like to say, among things I sold like one little fox yesterday. I sold, trying to think what else, a little chocolate lab that I made out of mahogany. I think the first thing I mentioned, that fox, I made it out of Kentucky coffee tree. I sold a little golden retriever that I made out of butternut, and the young lady that bought that from me, her dog was a mix of two other breeds of which I had never heard, but the golden retriever looked like the closest thing to her dog, so she bought it. That was really nice. And I tell y'all that there's just so much more I could say as I get a little further along. And one thing I want to mention is that I also have marked down a lot of my stuffed animals to half prices, and a certain cat that had once been $20 and once been marked down to 15 was finally marked down to 7, and I sold it yesterday. It's always just good to kind of get the work out, get the word out, get the name out. And I tell you, as much as I'd always prefer shows that are in my own hometown and close by, as they're so much less work to do and to set up for. Sometimes I feel like even getting out into other places, like out in Richmond and stuff, and Lancaster and all these other towns, and Frankfurt and Versailles and Midway, it just helps me kind of get out a name in some other places. And that's what I kind of enjoy so much about getting out in places to kind of do what I do, because I feel like I get to meet more people, make more friends in more places, and have more people to kind of make purchases from me and even make special orders. It was all just a blessing in a way, and even by the fact that from my Facebook page, when I've promoted ads, people have contacted me from all different kinds of states and places, and in ways they have kind of seen my stuff and wanted to place orders and wanted special orders and things. So I always just talked about ways I could make things for them, and will say that might be back on sooner or later. But as I will say again, the obituary to my great aunt is right there in the description. So I posted as a memorial, and hope you all will come on, stay tuned. If you get a chance to read it, you're welcome to, and I'll be back to doing videos again soon.